Hello, welcome to the online learning platform of Sri Swaminarayan Institute of Technology, Bad Gandhinagar. Myself, Professor Gaurang Patel, your instructor for the course Microwave Engineering. Dear students, in the last video lecture, we have discussed the conditions for low loss transmission line. Means under what condition we can consider the given transmission line as low loss transmission line. So in that case, we concluded that if any wave is traveling over the transmission line, then if amplitude reduction that taken place on the line is 1% of its original value over one wavelength, then the line can be considered as a low loss transmission line. We have also concluded that if attenuation constant alpha is 1% of propagation constant beta, in that case the line can be assumed to be low loss transmission line. And we also understood this by calculating one simple numerical for low loss transmission line. Now from this point onwards, we will assume the transmission line to be lossless transmission line, and we will carry it out further analysis of the transmission line. It means that whatever the line we considered over which the signal or the wave travels, the amplitude reduction will not be taken place on the line because we have assumed lossless transmission line. So the signal propagation will be sustained. There will not be any loss or power loss on the transmission line. So we do not have to worry about the power loss on the transmission line because we have assumed lossless transmission line. So by assuming the lossless transmission line, we will discuss one very fundamental concept, which is the standing wave. So in today's class, we will discuss about standing wave, which is very important topic of microwave engineering. So if we consider the transmission line, let's say this is the transmission line, this is generator end, this is the generator end, and this is the load end, this is the load end, and we assume that this line is the lossless transmission line. This line is lossless transmission line. It means that power loss will not be taken place on the transmission line. Now as we know, the voltage and current on the transmission line is given as the expression, that is a V is equal to V plus e raised to minus gamma x plus V minus e raised to gamma x. So voltage on this transmission line is given as V is equal to V plus e raised to minus gamma x plus V minus e raised to gamma x. Similarly, the current on the transmission line or current wave on the transmission line is given as V plus divided by Z naught e raised to gamma minus gamma x minus V minus divided by Z naught e raised to gamma x. Now replace this gamma by j omega root LC, which is nothing but the propagation constant gamma on the lossless transmission line, and assuming the Z0 is real for lossless transmission line. As we know, for lossless transmission line the characteristic impedance is real, and replace this x is equal to minus L. Why we are taking x is equal to minus x? Because x denote positive x direction. This is the x denotes this positive x direction, that is from generator to load end, but we are assuming the load end to be L is equal to 0, this end to be L is equal to 0, and if you are moving from load to generator, that is in opposite direction to x, then in that case we have to consider L is equal to minus x, or I can say x is equal to minus L. So if I replace x is equal to minus L and gamma is equal to j omega root LC, then our voltage expression become V plus e raised to j beta L plus V minus e raised to minus j beta L. Now if I take V plus e raised to j beta L common, then what will happen? V plus e raised to j beta L 1 plus V minus divided by V plus e raised to minus j 2 times beta L. Now if we look at this term very carefully, then it is the ratio of backward wave to incident wave, or reflected wave to incident wave, or backward wave to forward wave. And this ratio is nothing but it is the reflection coefficient on the line. So this represent reflection coefficient on the line. This is nothing but reflection coefficient on the line. Reflection coefficient on the line, which is given as V minus divided by V plus gamma L is equal to ZL minus Z0 divided by ZL plus Z0. And we already derived this expression, that is relation between reflection coefficient, load impedance and characteristic impedance. Clear? Now if I replace this by gamma L, V minus divided by V plus, then our expression on the transmission line, voltage expression on the transmission line become V of L is equal to V plus e raised to j beta L 1 plus gamma L e raised to minus j 2 times beta L. Similarly, in the current expression, if I replace x is equal to minus L and gamma is equal to j omega root LC and Z0, considering the Z0 real, then our expression become I of L is equal to V plus divided by Z0 e raised to j beta L minus V minus divided by Z0 e raised to minus j times beta L. Now taking this V plus divided by Z0 e raised to j beta L common, our expression of the current become V plus e raised to j times beta L divided by Z0 1 minus gamma L e raised to j 2 times beta L. So this is the current expression on the transmission line in terms of reflection coefficient. This is the voltage wave on the transmission line in terms of reflection coefficient gamma L and is in terms of its phase. Now if we look at these two, voltage expression and current expression carefully, then this current expression, that is the V plus e raised to j times beta L plus V minus e raised to minus j times beta L, this is the combination of two waves. This is the forward wave. Basically this V plus e raised to j beta L represents the forward wave. This is the forward wave and this is the backward wave. This one is the backward wave. So our voltage expression on the transmission line is a combination of two waves. One is the forward voltage traveling wave and this is the backward voltage traveling wave. And this combination is nothing but it is the voltage standing wave. What is standing wave? Standing wave is nothing but it is the combination, or it is the sum of the forward and backward traveling wave. So it is a combination of voltage forward voltage traveling wave. This is the backward voltage traveling wave. Hence this is known as a voltage standing wave on the transmission line. Similarly, if you look at the current expression, then current is also sum of the forward current traveling wave and backward current traveling wave. And sum of the forward and backward wave is nothing but it represents the standing wave on the transmission line. So you can see this current is a combination of forward current traveling wave and backward current traveling wave. Hence we can say that it is nothing but it is the current standing wave on the transmission line. So concept of transmission line is simple. It is basically the standing wave is nothing but it is the sum of the forward and backward traveling wave on the transmission line. Clear? If suppose there is no any backward wave, then there is no standing wave, only we have the incident wave on the transmission line. So if the reflection coefficient is 0 on the transmission line, then we can say that there is no reflection on the line, and there is no reflection on the line, there is no backward wave. And if there is no backward wave, there is no standing wave on the transmission line. Let's further analyze this concept of standing wave in more detail using the mathematical analysis. So if you look at this term, that is the gamma L, which is the reflection coefficient, basically it is a complex quantity. It is the complex quantity. If I represent this complex quantity in terms of its amplitude and phase, then it can be written as gamma L is equal to mod gamma L e raised to minus j phi L, where phi L is nothing but it is the phase of the reflection coefficient at the load end. So phi L is the phase of the reflection coefficient at the load end. So if I replace this gamma L in the voltage and current expression on the transmission line, then the modified expression will be V of L is equal to V plus e raised to j times beta L 1 plus mod gamma L e raised to j phi L minus 2 times beta L. Similarly, the current expression on the transmission line is given as I of L is equal to V plus divided by Z naught e raised to j beta L 1 minus mod gamma L e raised to j phi L minus 2 times beta L. Now here if we look at this both the terms very carefully, which are the combinations of forward and backward wave. So here depending on this phase relationship, at some point the forward and backward wave will be in phase, and at some point on the transmission line the forward and backward wave will be out of phase. So at the point when the phase they are in phase, both the waves are in phase, they will be summed together and we are getting the maximum voltage amplitude at that point. And at some point the forward and backward traveling wave will be out of phase. At that point we are getting the minimum voltage amplitude. Similarly, in case of current traveling and current traveling wave, depending on the phase relationship between the forward and backward current traveling wave, at some point forward and backward current traveling waves are in phase, and at that point we are getting the maximum current, and at some point the forward and backward current traveling wave are out of phase and we are getting the minimum amplitude. So depending on the phase relationship between this backward and forward wave, we are getting the maximum voltage or current amplitude. Similarly, minimum voltage and current amplitude. So let's discuss the concept of this voltage and current standing wave on the transmission line using the vector analysis. So basically if you look at this is the vector, this is also one vector. Okay, I hope कि आपको वेक्टर का कंसेप्ट पता होगा हमारे बेसिक फिजिक्स से. So this is the vector of amplitude 1, and this is the vector whose amplitude is mod gamma L and its phase is represented by this term. So basically the amplitude of the voltage and current on the transmission line is depends on this vector addition of these two vectors, and at some point depending on the phase these two vectors will be summed together, and at some point depending on the phase relationship these two vectors may be subtracted from each other, or it may be results in the minimum amplitude. So let's understand this addition of these two vectors graphically. So basically as you can see, if we are moving towards the generator from the load end, then L will be increasing, and if L increasing, this phase will become more and more negative. Once again, if we are moving towards the generator from the load end, then value of L becomes positive, or it will be increasing, and if L is increasing, this phase become more and more negative. And on the complex plane, the negative phase represents the moving towards in the clockwise direction, and moving towards the generator, basically moving towards the generator from the load end. So if we are moving towards the generator from the load end, it represents the motion in clockwise direction on the complex plane. So basically let's understand the variation of voltage and current on the transmission line graphically by using the concept of these two vectors. So basically suppose this one represents this vector 1, this is the vector 1, whose amplitude is 1, and this another vector which is mod gamma L e raised to j phi L minus 2 times beta L is represented by this red line. So this red represents the vector mod gamma L e raised to j phi L minus 2 times beta L, whose amplitude is mod gamma L. So this vector has amplitude mod gamma L and its phase is phi L minus 2 times beta L. Okay, फिर से this vector is represented by this. Suppose this is a vector 1 whose amplitude is 1, this is a vector 1, and this vector mod gamma L raised to j phi L minus 2 times beta L is represented by this. So this is the our vector whose amplitude is mod gamma L. The amplitude of this vector is mod gamma L and its phase is phi L minus 2 times beta L. So this is the phase of this vector, phi L minus 2 times beta L. So this is a vector 1, this is a vector phi L mod gamma L whose amplitude is mod gamma L and its phase is phi L minus 2 times beta L. And if we add these two vectors, then resultant vector will be given by joining the two ends of these two vectors. So this is our resultant vector, which is nothing but this entire vector which is given in the curly bracket, in the curly bracket. So this is the resultant vector of 1 and these two vectors. So this vector whose amplitude is given as mod 1 plus mod gamma L e raised to j phi L minus 2 times beta L, phi L minus 2 times beta L. Clear? So depending on this and we are moving towards the generator, that is in the clockwise direction. So depending on this phase, that is the phase is even multiple of pi. Suppose the phase is this phi L minus 2 beta L, there is a phase phi L minus 2 times beta L of this voltage wave or current wave is 0 or even multiple of pi, or even multiple of pi, 0 or even multiple of phi, then this term e raised to j times term becomes 1. मतलब जब phi L minus 2 times beta L 0 होगा या 2 पाई होगा, 4 पाई होगा, 6 पाई होगा, 8 पाई होगा, इस टाइम पे ये पूरा जो एक्सपोनेंशियल टर्म है वो 1 हो जाएगा, और ये 1 हो जाएगा, then the resultant amplitude on the transmission line, that is voltage, the voltage on the transmission line become 1, and ये क्या हो जाएगा, ये भी 1 हो जाएगा, sorry, this is the 1 plus tau L हो जाएगा. So resultant voltage wave will be given as, at that point, VL is equal to V plus e raised to j times beta L, inside the bracket 1 plus mod gamma L. So when phi L minus 2 times beta L, that is the phase is 0 or even multiple of phi, then this exponential term become 1 and voltage on the transmission line will be given as V plus e raised to j beta L 1 plus gamma L. Similarly, the current expression will become this, when this phase is 0 or even multiple of pi, then e raised to exponential term become 1, then current wave become, that is I of L is equal to V plus e raised to j times beta L 1 minus mod gamma L, very important, 1 minus mod gamma L. मतलब it means that at when the phase is 0 or even multiple of pi, then voltage will be maximum because it is a 1 plus mod gamma L, and current will be minimum because it is a 1 minus gamma L, mod gamma L. So very interesting. Similarly, if the phase is odd multiple of pi, this is a phi L minus, another condition, phi L minus 2 times beta L is odd multiple of pi, then this will e raised to j times phi L minus 2 times beta L become minus 1, this exponential term become minus 1, this is also become minus 1. So in that case, the voltage will be given as, that is a V of L is equal to V plus e raised to j times beta L 1 minus mod gamma L, and this current will become, very important, let me write over here, I of L is equal to V plus divided by Z naught, sorry, here over here also Z naught e raised to j beta L 1 plus mod gamma L, 1 plus mod gamma L. So very interesting. So when this phase is odd multiple of pi, then voltage will be minimum because it is a 1 minus mod gamma L, and current will be maximum because it is a 1 plus mod gamma L. It means that when phase is 0 or even multiple of pi, then voltage on the transmission line is maximum, and current will be minimum, and when this phase is odd multiple of pi, then voltage on the transmission line is minimum and current is maximum. It means that the voltage maximum and current maximum do not occur at the same time on the transmission line. When voltage on the transmission line is maximum, current will be minimum and vice versa. Okay, so at this point, when this phase is even multiple of pi, then we are getting the maximum voltage amplitude on the line, that is represented by point A. When this is the odd multiple of pi, then we are getting the minimum amplitude of this wave, voltage wave on the transmission line, which is given as point B. So in that point B, we are getting the minimum voltage amplitude, and point A, we are getting the maximum voltage amplitude on the transmission line. So at some point on the line, when phase is 0 or even multiple of pi, this term is maximum, that point is A. Similarly, at some point on the transmission line, this phase will be odd multiple of pi, and this will be minimum, and that is represented by B on this phasor diagram. Clear? Okay. So at some point, the mod gamma L e raised to j phi L minus 2 beta L is positive, voltage become maximum, and at the same point, current will be become minimum, as I mentioned over here. Okay. So it means that on the transmission line, maximum voltage and current do not occur at the same time. They are staggered in space. And what is the voltage and current on the transmission line at this point, which is nothing but it is a standing wave, because it is a combination of forward and backward voltage traveling wave. When phase is even multiple of pi, or 0, at that point the forward voltage traveling wave and backward voltage traveling wave are in phase, and we are getting the maximum voltage at that point. Similarly, at the same point, the forward current traveling wave and backward current traveling wave are out of phase, and we are getting the minimum current at that point. Similarly, another condition, when the phase is odd multiple of pi, phase means phi L minus 2 times beta L is odd multiple of pi, at that point the forward voltage traveling wave and backward voltage traveling wave are out of phase, and we are getting the minimum amplitude, and at the same point the forward current traveling wave and backward current traveling wave are in phase, and we are getting the maximum amplitude. So if I represent this concept graphically, then this is our transmission line, this is our load end, this is the load end ZL, here there will be a generator, this is a generator end, let's say, okay, and load end is represented by L is equal to 0, basically L is equal to 0, and if I plot the magnitude of the resultant voltage and current on the transmission line, then as I mentioned, suppose at this point on the transmission line, the phase is 0 or even multiple of pi. At this point, the phase is 0 or even multiple of pi, that is a 2 pi, 4 pi, 6 pi, 8 pi, etc. 6 pi, 8 pi, and so on. Then the forward voltage traveling wave and backward voltage traveling wave will be summed together, and we are getting the maximum voltage at this point. Similarly, as I mentioned, for current, the current will be minimum, so this is the minimum current, and some another point on the transmission line, let's say at this point the phase is odd multiple of pi, that is the pi, 3 pi, 5 pi, and so on, 5 pi, and so on, and at that point the forward current traveling wave and backward current traveling wave will be summed together, and we are getting the maximum current on the transmission line. But at the same point, we are getting the minimum voltage amplitude on the transmission line. So from this graph, or from this figure you can say this is nothing but this orange waveform represent the voltage standing wave on the transmission line, and this blue waveform will represent the current standing wave on the transmission line. And basically this voltage standing wave on the transmission line, which is a combination of the forward voltage traveling wave and backward voltage traveling wave, and depending on the phase relationship between the forward and backward voltage wave, at some point the voltage is maximum and some point voltage is minimum. Similarly, this is the current traveling wave on the transmission line, which is the combination of forward current traveling wave and backward current traveling wave, and at this point current is minimum. It means that the forward and backward traveling wave are not meeting in phase. Okay, so basically, and very important to note here, on the transmission line the voltage maximum and current maximum do not occur at the same time. When voltage is maximum, current is minimum. When current is maximum, voltage is minimum. Their stagger in space, and this represents the standing wave on the transmission line. So what we discussed today? We discussed about the concept of standing wave on the transmission line for lossless transmission line, in which the amplitude reduction will not be taken place. So you can see from this graph as well, as on the transmission line there is a no reduction in the amplitude basically. Okay, the amplitude will be sustained on the transmission line, but depending on the phase relationship between the forward and backward wave, we are getting the traveling standing wave on the transmission line. And if there is no reflection on the transmission line, it means the reflection coefficient is 0, then we are not getting any backward wave on the transmission line, and if there is a no backward wave, there is a no standing wave on the transmission line. So लेट्स स्टॉप हियर. आई होप कि आज के लेक्चर में हमने जितना भी डिस्कस किया वो आपको समझ में आ गया होगा. लेट्स स्टॉप हियर. वी विल डिस्कस अदर एस्पेक्ट ऑफ दिस ट्रांसमिशन लाइन in our next video lecture. Thank you very much.